Hi, welcome to our tarot forecast for August 2020. I'm really pumped to get this information for you guys. So what I'm going to do first is just a general reading check-in. Then I'm going to go into Leo because it's their solar return. So I'll do a little extra something special for Leo. And then I'll go into each zodiac sign, giving them a reading for what to face or what's upcoming in August. I'm really curious to see. I've been really looking forward to doing this. You can see in my glasses the reflection. Okay, general reading. This is pretty incredible. So I checked in here. We've got the Chariot. There we go. We've got the Judgment card. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. So this is just a check-in general reading for the group. I love the Judgment card, especially ever since this pandemic has hit. This has been a card that's been stalking me. And the way that I'm reading this card at this time is really allowing especially this is in the position of the body or your physical material reality. It's how can you actually be in 100% integrity at the highest level in all aspects of your life, that especially the tangible things of your life. So this is being in integrity with your physical body, with how you spend your money, with your home and the condition of your home or where you're living, the job that you do, every aspect of your life right now, you're being called to a higher expression of that thing. You're being called to take ruthless inventory of ways in which you are not in alignment with yourself. And this can be confusing because 4 months ago, what was in alignment for you truly could now no longer be in alignment. And you're being asked to take these massive critical inventory of everything, leaving no stone unturned. Because this is the way that we are building the new world from here, from this space. And so it's really important that if almost you can imagine yourself on Judgment Day. I don't know what your beliefs are, but your life is flashing before your eyes. You're sitting in front of God or Source or yourself, and you're going to have to do that retrospective of the life that you lived, and was it worth it, and was it in alignment? That's the kind of inventory I'm talking here about, what we're being called to do right now. That sort of deathbed retrospective of our life. Okay? Not serious. This is not necessarily fun, and it might be painful, and it might be some harsh truths that you start to see about yourself, or things that are being uncovered that were in alignment this whole time, and you're like, wait, what? I was so sure that this is the way. That could have been the way on a fated path, and now we're being all asked to up level to the path of destiny, which is the highest expression of your mission of love on this planet. So that's what we're up to this month. No big deal. But the thing is, that's really interesting with this Chariot energy. There we go. With this Chariot energy, you have actually right now the mental capacity and faculties to gain momentum and success and actually enjoy this process. Once you get the hang of it, your brain is going to be scanning your reality, be like, ping, that. Nope, that doesn't serve me. Ping, okay, that thing. And being able to actually stay on top of all of the ways in which you engage with the world and your reality, and being able to actually very quickly, this does not have to be like this purgatory feeling. This is the opportunity for you to actually dive deep and rather quickly do these sort of audits on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis, however it is you want to thin slice that into bite-sized pieces for yourself. And then your spirit, and this is why this is happening with this Eight of Wands. This is my other deck that I learned from with it, which was the Native American Tarot. This is the Vision Quest card. This is the Vision Quest card. This is when we come to our knees and we say, Spirit, God, higher self, whatever that language is, show me the way, show me the truth, show me this, like, during this time of this reckoning, what, like, I want to have that spiritual awakening. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to live in a way that's aligned with my spirit and soul. And maybe some of this stuff that I've been doing has been keeping me separate from myself. So I'm actually getting reminded of, and I might be misquoting myself, but the prayer that was associated with, I used to pray this every day for so many years, now I can't remember, associated with A Course of Miracles. What would you have me do? What would you have me say? What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? That surrender. This is the time to surrender to your higher self, your higher power, whatever, and say, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? To actually live in alignment with my highest destiny. And so we're up to big work this month. We're up to big work, and it's doable, but we have to actually remember and remind ourselves that our personality and our human side isn't actually supposed to lead us right now. It's our spirit and our soul and our side that's supposed to influence our humanity, not have our humanity sort of make our spirit bend to our will. Okay, so that's what we're up to. I'm going to give you a couple of more cards around this, and then we'll go straight into these tarot scopes. Let's see some tools for this. I feel like this information is going to land one of two ways. You're going to get excited, you're going to get fired up, and you're going to be like, fuck yes. Or you might get scared, because this sort of is scary, because you might have to abandon certain things that you very heavily identified with. So let's see, let's give you a couple of tools to help with this time. I feel like you need 2 tools. Oh, this is so great. The 6 of Wands and then the Temperance card. When I was thinking about the 6 of Wands, as soon as it hit me, it's like actually aligning with us with a sense of dignity. This is a card of victory. This is a card of being celebrated and honored. You can see he's sort of like on this victory parade situation, and riding his horse or whatever. And so what I would say is, as a filter to how, okay, like, does this resonate with me or not? Is this still part of my highest destiny or not? I would start to say, like, does this respect human dignity? Does this respect my dignity and the dignity of others? Is this a righteous, uplifting way to go, or is this kind of lowering to the common denominator? I would really kind of look to these elevating energies. How can you be elevated and dignified and when you're done through this process, feeling dignified seems very important. And this Temperance card is a card of healing. So as you start to do this ruthless inventory, it's actually going to be setting you back into a sense of balance with yourself, a sense of wholeness with yourself. If you've been acting more on one side or the other, it's like finding that neutral middle, that neutral mind, that healing neutral space. And when we have this Temperance card here, it also shows me, so sometimes cards give you like my signs for these cards, actually does show that healing work is needed. So I would say to you, if you have an opportunity to do energy work or healing work or therapy that will help you this month, sort of traverse some of these realizations and these shifts and these pivots and these, as you start hacking things and sort of rebuilding things, I would do it. So I do remote group healing. If you know people that do healing work, acupuncture, therapy, whatever your modalities are that helps you, I would not ignore these tools for healing, because this isn't an easy process, and you might feel exposed, and you might feel sensitive, and you might sort of feel vulnerable, and so you might need help to help peel some of these layers back and rebuild you and infuse you with love. And I just also want to say, as you are taking this ruthless inventory, stay away from shame and guilt. You are where you are, and it's beautiful and it's perfect. And just because you want to potentially have an even higher expression does not mean that you need to be ashamed or feel guilty about where you are and where you've come from. Those two frequencies can actually, with my kinesiology, with the reunion process, we can actually muscle test for frequencies on a scale. So we can actually test for like your energetic frequency on this scale. And guilt and shame are basically the two lowest frequencies that you can hold within your body. And so as you're trying to, we were saying with this victory card, uplift, elevate, have dignity, you have to do that in a way that does not slip you back into shame and guilt. You can take personal responsibility. That's what the Judgment card is. The Judgment card is taking personal responsibility for the decisions that you've made, but we don't want you to do that slipping into guilt and shame, because there's no healing there. It's very hard to, that's not a healing place. We need to get to a neutral place and then work on it from there. Okay, great. So that's what we have for our group check-in reading. Now I'm going to fire through some of these signs. We're starting with fire signs. Let's go Leo. So what is your card for the year, Leo? Card for the year and then card for the month. I'm going to pull a few. It's your birthday, Leo. You know you want a little extra love. Okay, Leo. First of all, your card for the year is the Six of Cups. So this is a really interesting card. For me, it's a card of nostalgia and childhood memories and an emotional connection to the past. In normal circumstances, sometimes this is a lovely card. During this upcoming year, when we're going through this transitions, and I personally feel like this pandemic is going to extend through the next 12 calendar months. That's just my opinion. It might be that the longing for the past is wrought, right? It also has to do with how your childhood was. So some of us that grew up with a great childhood, when you reflect on the past, it's feelings of love. Sometimes it's re-engaging with trauma. So this year you're going to be sort of feeling nostalgic and retrospective. You might even have people coming up from the past. Sometimes when I pull this card, old friends, old family, old love comes circling back. It's your job this year to discern whether this is a final lesson, a final clearing to let this person go, or if this is a welcomed remembrance and a welcomed presence in your life that's actually going to enhance and the familiarity feels really good and like you're coming home. All right, so the cards for this month for you are the Page of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. I love all of these cards for you. So it doesn't look like it's going to be super challenging. So we're going to keep in mind the group reading and then add, this is your little flavor. So I would say there's a lot of fiery new energy available to you, especially around this Ace of Pentacles. So these new projects, maybe new homes, new streams of income. You might be feeling a little bit more creative, and some of these creative endeavors might bleed into some financial rewards. So it might be like, I used to play songs for fun at home. Now I feel inspired to, by donation, play on Facebook and have people Venmo me money. That's a random suggestion, but it's that kind of realm for you. So it's really important to bring this beginner's mind to some of your creative pursuits and be open to ways in which this might actually manifest into cash or new business ideas or even like a little pocket change for you. It's also saying this month, and maybe because it is your birthday month, it's showing lots of heart connection, lots of reciprocity with loved ones. I know we're in quarantine. I would find, for most of us, I would find a way to really connect with people. We want you to be recognized, validated. We want to fill your cup to last you for the rest of the year. And so if that means that people are coming to you, that's great. If it means that you need to spark up conversations or Zoom calls or whatever, if you need to plan your own birthday party, there is no shame in that. What's most important is that you stay connected and you have those reciprocal relationships where you feel really seen and validated and loved. So that is your reading. We are going to go next to Virgo. All right, Virgos. Please be clear for Virgos. Okay, Virgos. So I'm kind of feeling this as sort of like a steps 1, 2, 3 for Virgos. We've got the Five of Wands, we've got the Magician, yeehaw, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So I would say this. The beginning of this month, it's showing this sense of conflict, competition, sort of really having to elbow your way to fight for your space. And it's not necessarily a comfortable energy. But what I would do, it almost feels like you're punching through to get to a clearer, cleaner space. So when we were talking about like how to get more in integrity with what it is that you have to do to live in your highest destiny, kind of new direction, you might have to actually fight through some things to actually see that. You might actually have to fight with yourself and grapple with yourself about, do I believe this? Do I not believe this? Do I love this? Do I no longer love this? And really get competitive and kind of like rip some of this stuff around with a little bit of aggression. And that's how you might be able to take this ruthless inventory. Then we see in the clearing, so like maybe the first few weeks or days might feel sort of that kind of energy, but then you step right into manifestation mode with this Magician card. Now here's what I want to say about the Magician. It is a beautiful card. You can see that he has all the tools that he needs to manifest and create whatever he wants through his own power. I also identify with the Roman numeral 1 as the I. This is a very I-focused card. And so it's, what do I want? My power, my abilities. And we're talking about judgment in the sense of like a higher calling. I think for you, step 1 is you got to get really clear with what you want and what you want to create. Now, in this mode, oftentimes people are very able to really manifest and call things in rather quickly. I would say because of that, it is super important to be really aware of your thoughts and of your practices and what it is that you're calling in. We're always manifesting. We're always having that relay with the astral and with the universe. So we want to make sure that you're actually putting out what you want to get back. Also, sometimes when people get in this Magician energy, they're like, oh wow, I'm getting in touch with my power. I'm having these sort of maybe supernatural experiences, or I'm instantly manifesting things. That's a great sign, but I want to remind you, it is card number 1 of the major arcana, which has 22 cards. So this is just the taste and just the beginning of getting in touch with your power. Now, for those of you who are ritualists, I would say this is a great time to do a road opener ritual or whatever sort of actual magic that you know to do, because you're going to be really supremely potent during this time. And then here's what I would say. You're going to get clarity. You're going to bring opportunities to you. And some of these, I'm just going to throw this out there, might feel like premature opportunities. It doesn't mean you can't take it. It just means after you get the opportunity, you're going to have to get to work. You might actually, like, for example, call in a new job. You're like, yes, this is my dream job that you're actually underqualified for. No one has to know, but you are going to have to go back and study and learn and have this sort of apprentice vibe to you so that you can be successful in that new manifestation. I feel like some of these things that you're calling in are going to be a little premature, and you're going to have to maybe fake it till you make it and then go back and relearn so that you can actually hold that energy of that position or whatever it is that you've created. Okay, Libras. Libra. Ooh. Okay, so you're really in that ruthless inventory vibe this month. So we've got the Moon, we've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Justice card. So I would say this. You're going to take this exercise and this energy of this ruthless inventory that I was talking about, and you're going to go really deep. And a lot of what you might have to purge might have less to do with your physical reality. It might be less to do with more tangible aspects of your life. It might have to do with clearing the psyche and clearing sort of some of these patterns, these ancestral pieces, going into these dark places and seeing which limits you've put on yourself when it comes to the life that you're creating. It feels like it's to me that maybe you've been playing it a little bit small, and that's not an integrity. That's not in the highest expression of the destiny that you want to live. So that's sort of the waters that you're going to be swimming in, literally diving really deep. I would take the moon cycles very serious this month. I would pay attention to not just the new and the full moon, but the whole transition of the moon, and see how you can time some of your practices, or how you can tune into that cyclical nature within you, because that's sort of where some of these mysteries might be revealed. Some of the things that you might be purging to get more in alignment, you might not even be consciously purging them. So I would also encourage you to get your mind to work in your sleep. So set intentions for things that you want to heal, contracts you want to break, anything that you're having a hard time with. It's not about doing, it's more of this passive, like set this intention before you go to sleep, put a sigil under your pillow, whatever it is that you do. Mugwort might be really good for you, this like black sage, to clear your space before sleep and allow your psyche in your sleep process to phase some of these things out. And what's going to come from this is going to be like new inspirations, new ideas, new passions, new clarity of, I think, more of a spiritual nature, more of a less tangible nature. And then with this Justice card, to me, it shows then you're going to be so clear at that fork in the road which way you want to go. And Justice does remind me of Libra, because Justice is the scales, Libras are the scales. And so through this cycle, Libra, as much as you tend to like to have things in balance, by the end of it, you might have to pick a path. You might not be able to hold both things and weigh them. The Justice card is like, I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to go in that direction, and I'm going to feel really good about it because I've done the work to get the clarity, to get to know that I need to go in that direction. Good for you. All right, let's see Scorpios. What's my month going to be like? I hope it's good. A little bit of a nebulous month this month for Scorpios. Unfortunately, I am emotionally invested in the results of this reading. So we've got the Eight of Cups, which I pulled yesterday for my remote group healing book, the Knight of Wands, and this Four of Cups. I really don't enjoy the 8 and 4 of Cups, to be honest with you, as their energy. So what this is showing me is there's an emotional stagnancy, and there's some places where there really needs to be a clear break and a moving on. This card is always my sign of moving on no matter what. It reminds me of that old fairy tale or the Humpty Dumpty, where it's like, okay, he fell off the wall. You cannot put it back together. You just have to keep moving. And so I would say part of this inventory that you're taking to get into more alignment is more of an emotional journey. So we were saying sort of the Libras are going through more of a spiritual journey. This is actually got to get back to your emotions. You've got to get up and out and clear these emotions that keep you stuck into the past and that really limit the forward momentum. Luckily, you've got this Knight of Wands, and he's a cowboy. He's really gonna maybe help drive some of this through, whereas if you're feeling really watery and like, I don't know if I can do it, I feel like he adds that fire to actually push through spiritual practice, through maybe it's even picking up a new modality. I know I'm in that phase right now where I'm like, okay, I've mastered some of these other things, and here's where I've gotten with that. I'm ready to maybe add something new. So I would also say, see if there are any other modalities, or, you know, if you're not into tarot reading, maybe pick that up, oracle reading, something that feels right to you that might add a little boost to the baseline practices that you've been doing to help push you through. Also, I mean, it's such a sad sack month for the Scorpios, because when I see this Four of Cups, it's also this sort of energy where you're not really appreciating what you have and you're wanting something else in the future. And it kind of is this energy of a lack mentality. So I would say like that it just seems a little bit like a pathetic watery month. So process your emotions, lean on the Knight of Wands in your life. So if you have people that are passionate and can help cheer you on to move forward. And I really do think picking up or dabbling with a new modality, whether it's just trying a ritual or whether it's for the first time, maybe doing one of my energy sessions, my remote healing sessions, or if it's something like hosting, I don't know, like reading up about angels or demons or I don't know. But see what if there's a little something that can add fuel to your fire to help push through these final throes of these emotional constrictions that kind of keep you stuck and wallowing. It feels kind of like wallowing. So guys, from one Scorpio to another, we're not going to be wallowing this month. We're going to get our practice down and we're going to use the tools or learn something new to help cope with whatever that feels like. Okay, Sagittarius. Okay, this is your lesson this month. Oh, this is so great. So we've got the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and then the King of Cups. Again, maybe you need to hang out with some of your Scorpio friends. This is just showing to me that this month you're susceptible to being emotionally overwhelmed. I'm reading the Ace of Cups and Ten of Wands together. That's how it hit me. Like really feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to make it, or I've got so much to process and no support. This is a story. I've got so much to process. I have no support and I don't know how I'm going to make it through. I am so underwater. Have you ever had that feeling when you feel like you're in slow motion, underwater, can't take a deep breath and get relief? The thing here is we've got this King of Cups energy. Hold on, I want to pull one more around the King of Cups. And the Queen of Swords is coming on. So I would say this is going to be different. It's a group reading. It's going to be different for everyone that's hearing this. But I would say a couple of things. Either one, the lesson for you is to actually be your own King of Cups and Queen of Swords. So this means to actually get command over your emotions, understand what it is like to be a fully emotionally mature, which means supporting yourself, calling in the help that you need, processing, making your emotional health first and foremost. And also with this Queen of Swords, being, if you're doing this for yourself, it's like, this is the ruthless inventory we're talking about. Sagittarius, you find yourself in this position of being emotionally exhausted and overwhelmed over and over again. The ruthless inventory for you is to bring this Queen of Swords up here who has clear discernment, great boundaries, and will cut things off left and right so that you can actually have enough space to handle your shit without adding more to it. And so whether this is your path to discern on your own and to call up these archetypes, this emotional maturity and this ruthless, like cutting things out, or if you don't feel like you know how to do this, this is the time to reach out, get a tarot reading, get some support, talk to your mom and dad if they are good, reflections for you, or a girlfriend, someone that you know. You need to talk to people if you're going to get outside influence. Have two things. They have emotional depth, so they're going to be able to go there with you and empathize with you, but they're not going to get linked into and sucked into your neuroses and sort of reflect back to you the neurotic parts of it. And people that are not just going to tell you what you want to hear. People that can give you a little bit of this tough love. Because we've got this month of August to sort of trim some of these fats so that you can come out the next month, hopefully. Let's see what the next month is. I'm going to forecast a little bit. So then you're going to be back to where the Libras were, where you actually are going to have a time to really, really do the deeper work. So next month you're even going to be doing deeper work. But first we've got to get a handle on these more superficial situational things that are pulling and tugging your emotional energy, so then you can actually dive deep into the root or the seed of some of these issues so that you can actually have more emotional stamina moving forward. All right, Capricorns. keep watching the clock because I have a meeting. So let's see if I can get Capricorns. What do we got for ya? Please be clear for Capricorns. Wow, everyone's going to have so many emotions. We got all cups for Capricorns, 4 of cups again, 7 of cups, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, here's the deal, Capricorn. You may have been presented with an opportunity that you ignored. You're like, not for me. Or you may have been presented with an opportunity, and because you were kind of like in a lack mentality, meaning like, you're like, well, I better do this to cover my ass, or I better take this or do this thing so that I can protect myself in the future. It actually wasn't the best opportunity because it was a grab. It was like a grab from an insecure place as opposed to an aligned move. Okay. So you might be trying to figure out how you can back out of this opportunity or these decisions that you've made with people or whatever. It could be it was like an emotional decision based on sort of this fear mentality. So then might be actively looking for some other opportunities and nothing's going to feel right. So here you are. Okay, I took this thing, not what I thought it was. I made this choice. It didn't pan out as good as I thought it would. Like maybe the grass is greener. I'm trying to get myself out of it, and here are the different paths to do so. None of this feels right either. So you've got to sit in the discomfort of that. And here's what you got to do. We've got this Knight of Cups. You've got to be creative to allow yourself to get into a neutral, accepting place and space about where you are. So it's not actually showing that the lesson here is to cut bait or to change the situation or to change the decision. It's sitting in the discomfort of your choice and allowing yourself not to go into the polarity of the negativity of like the regret. Also not faking it and telling yourself this is better than it is. It's like, no, this isn't actually quite right. And it's getting to that neutral space about it. When you hit that neutral place where you're like, I accept where I am and I look forward to the change that's coming, then you'll not have that grab feeling. You'll be neutral, and then it'll open up and shift for you. So I would, I'm going to see what next month is looking like for you. Yeah, the Knight of Wands is what's to come, which I feel like maybe you can then get yourself out of the situation. But right now, it's really trying to get into that creative space of how to navigate where you are with acceptance. And then as far as this ruthless inventory piece, that's like the theme of I feel like it's the theme of the reading. I want you to take note of the steps, the beliefs, how this was all set up for you to be in this place where it's a little uncomfortable. Because I've been doing these readings for you guys for many months, and Capricorns have been crushing it. And so this is the first time in kind of a while where there's a little misstep or a miscalculation, a mistake, like you took the wrong thing for the moment. So either when you kind of get into that neutral space, this will actually unwind in a way where it works out in your favor, or you'll be able to exit and get kind of right the ship. Okay, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, here we go. So we've got the Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Pentacles. So here's what's up. It's showing that when we see the Seven of Swords, it usually means that there's some sort of suspicious behavior or a lack of trust, or you might be thinking like, can I trust my surroundings? Can I trust the people that I'm around? Is someone trying to mess with me? Is there something shady going on here? And that's worth a reflection. The key piece here for you, Aquarius, I feel like in this meaning of the card, in this circumstance, is to understand whether it's an intuitive hit that like something's fishy going on, or if your pattern of distrust is kicking up and then projecting on the situation. It might be different for different Aquariuses at this time. But that's the inventory first check is like, okay, is this real, or is this just a pattern or a switch that's being flipped that makes me feel like potentially there's something shady going on? But then we have this Wheel of Fortune energy right up to it. So, I mean, this Wheel of Fortune is a massive energy, that Jupiter energy, that luck, that energy of good luck, good fortune, momentum, taking your hands off the wheel because you know you're going to be steered in the best direction possible. So, that said, if there's someone being shady, it's minuscule compared to this massive Jupiter energy that's going to support you moving forward. So it's almost insignificant. If it's you and your trust mechanism is going up and it's sort of like a false alarm or this sort of pattern behavior, this is the time to teach you to trust. The Wheel of Fortune to me is all about trust. If you can let your hands off the wheel, the outcome will be in the higher realms than if you try to steer with this wheel. And it's showing here new money, new opportunity. If you can get the suspicion off, so let's just say you're suspicious about your job. Like, is my job going to be here? Is it not going to be here? Are they doing, are they going to give me what they promise? It actually doesn't matter, because after this Jupiter energy pushes through, you're either going to be in a good situation where you are, if we're using the job as an analogy, or you're going to get ushered into something else that's actually even better. So just work on your trust issues and refining. So you're going to need it. So really what I'm talking about is discernment, Aquarius. So you're going to use this time as an opportunity for your ruthless inventory to sharpen your discernment, which is going to be an invaluable piece of this whole thing moving forward, this whole whatever's happening moving forward. Okay, Pisces. Pisces. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I hate the suspense. It's looking like out of all of the signs so far, Pisces might be having the hardest month. Just throwing that out there. Do not allow, you are like the most powerful person or energy in your life, but here are some of the energies that might be kicking up for you. We've got the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, then the Ace of Pentacles. And then I pulled a clarifier, which is the 5 of Wands, which isn't really super hopeful. So here's the deal. When we see, here's this ruthless inventory to me has to do with resiliency. It's really going to teach you these areas where you're vulnerable, where you need to mature and strengthen in certain aspects of your life where you feel vulnerable. One can be either finances or your physical well-being, your physical health. So you might feel vulnerable, or you might feel susceptible to getting sick or losing money or whatever that looks like for you. And then also you're showing vulnerable in the position of your heart, in relationships, in friendships, feeling betrayed, telling these stories of how you were done wrong, which may or may not have actually be the truth. And this is an opportunity for you to actually be reborn and as a feeling more solid, feeling more, actually getting to know the strength of who you really are, instead of these old stories and fairy tales about maybe you're not as strong, or maybe you're vulnerable or naive or whatever. So, and actually when I see this 5 of Wands, it's like actually this kind of fire to help you be able to stand up for yourself, to take up the space you deserve, to have a little bit of a competitive edge, and not get pushed around. So I would say that's your job and your task, is this ruthless inventory is about where you feel vulnerable and where you feel susceptible to weakness, and how you can actually gain as much resilience as possible so that you can actually express yourself in the truth of who you are, which is a very strong and dignified being. All right, we've got a few more. I think I'll make it in time. Aries. Yeah, going to Aries, I'm like, Pisces can maybe take some cues from some Aries friends. They're badass. So if you have any Aries friends that you can sort of get some advice from too, like we want more of that. We want more of that fight, that passion, that standing up for yourself. Okay, Aries. This is great. Okay, so I do actually, that's so funny I said that. I do think that Aries and Pisces, if you have any friends, I think you guys should hang out this month. We've got the Page of Cups, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, and we've got the Five of Cups. So this is why I'm kind of saying that. It's like where the Pisces can use a little bit of verve and a little bit of strengthening and fortifying. The Aries folks can use a little softening and could use a little help getting into their emotions more. So I think that there's like a nice little duality there where one can teach softness, the other can teach strength, and then you both can have a more balance there. For you Aries, I would say money's not going to be an issue. Either you're going to get more money or more opportunity. You're going to feel like really well taken care of from that standpoint. And everyone around you is going to have that sense too. So I know it's weird because we're in this sort of flux climate with when it comes to money actually, but you're feeling really good. I would say that your role right now is to get in touch with the more sensitive sides of yourself. Ways in which you can mourn and grieve anything that has been ignored, and to really be sensitive and gentle with yourself and others. So Aries tend to be pretty direct, pretty full on. I would pay attention this month in your interactions with how you can actually throttle yourself based on who it is that you're around. This does not mean do not be yourself. This means heighten your sensitivity to others so that you don't run people over. And here's why this is helpful to you. This is going to get you more in touch with yourself and be able to modulate yourself, which gets you more refined. It gets you more nuanced in how you approach things, and that's actually a real benefit. And because you're feeling so secure this month, it's a great time to practice with that modulation and that sensitivity and your empathy, because you're not going to be in a space where you feel triggered or like survival mode in any kind of way. So this is a great time to play and to experiment with these softer ebbs and flows of how you connect with yourself and others. That'll be interesting. I'd love to hear comments from some Aries, how that reading lands. We've got 3 more. Okay, Taurus. Oh, this is so great, Taurus. I love these for you. We've got the King of Swords, we've got the Six of Pentacles, and we've got my favorite card, which is the Nine of Cups, the Wish card. I would say this. You have done such a good job with leadership, with communication, with actually being able to lead by example through your words and through your deeds. You have used your wisdom to navigate these last few months, and it's put you in a really cool position where people are seeing sides of you maybe that they haven't seen before, or maybe you're seeing sides of yourself that you haven't seen before when it comes to your leadership and your intelligence and what you bring to the table and how you inspire others. You might have noticed a sense of, or if not, maybe this month, being able to communicate at a higher level and really be impactful with how it is that you communicate with other people. And you're also, what I'm seeing here is with the Six of Pentacles, I would say that what will make you feel good and solid, because I know that Taurus need to feel solid and grounded, is to pursue the world with a sense of reciprocity. It's not actually time for you to lock down and hoard. I would be mindful of where you spend your money. I would spend your money. I would be mindful if you want to donate. And you don't even have to donate. I wouldn't even say donate to big, huge organizations. I would say there's someone that you come across in your life that's struggling, maybe these smaller interactions, like if you send a friend some money on Venmo to buy themselves a coffee, or if you hear that someone's that's close to you is having a hard time with job loss, maybe you buy them groceries. I would say those small interactions where your money and your accumulation of wealth can be then passed on to help someone else would be really meaningful to you and that person. And now's a very good time to be exercising that monetary flow of giving, because you'll be getting as well. I love that for you guys. And so do that if you have the means to do so. And if you don't have the means to do so, be open to receiving. It's showing good stuff coming. Like when we see this Nine of Cups, it's a card of your wishes being fulfilled. So I would not necessarily, we don't want you to bypass any of the harder things that are going on with your life, but I will say your ruthless inventory is in reverse. Your ruthless inventory is, in what ways can I see and count my blessings? And what ways can I really enjoy what I've created here? And how can I not be looking for problems, but how can I really engage with my dreams and wishes being fulfilled? And then how one way that you can express that gratitude is through these donations or this reciprocity with your money or with your time or with your resources. And just acknowledging that you've really matured. Like even if you've been pressurized during this time, it's actually helped catapult you to an even higher level of a lot of things, of communication, of wisdom, of all of that. So congratulations, Taurus. Gemini. Man, y'all. This Four of Cups is stalking all of us, so it'll be interesting, the Geminis. That Queen of Swords again. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Swords. It's so funny. To me, your ruthless inventory is the opposite. So usually, we're saying we need to cut things out of your life that aren't serving you, that these patterns that aren't great for you or whatever. In your case, Gemini, it shows because you are so smart and you have it's probably a little bit how you live. Like you have this knowing of what serves you and what doesn't. But I would say that you may have prematurely eliminated things from your life that actually probably would serve you. So your ruthless inventory is to sort of look back at the recent times, or it could be years, however it lands for you, of what's been right under your nose. What is something that's like trying to like be given to you? What are things that you've pushed away that you actually now have space to bring in? So maybe it's plans, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's dreams, maybe you've been too practical and so you're like, snip, snip, snip. We need to bring in some things that are from your past, or opportunities that you've rejected, neglected, or you can't even see. So look at everything as an opportunity, and we want you to actually pile some more things on as opposed to cut some more things out, because it feels like you've been quick to cut out and now you're sort of like swimming away from those opportunities when really, or these blessings are kind of hidden in plain sight. So that's what, and it's similar to Taurus, how it's like count your blessings. For the Taurus are going to be able to see their blessings. For you, you might have just like zoomed right past them in your haste, or you might have like not recognized it as a blessing. So we want you to do the opposite with your ruthless inventory. And last but certainly not least, Cancers, as you go into the second month of your solar return. Okay. I want to put one more and give you. Okay. So here's the deal. This month is also going to be, now I forgot who I said was like, this is the most challenging month. this month is going to be a little bit challenging for Cancers. We've got this Tower card, we've got this Six of Cups, and we've got this Seven of Swords. But the good news is what follows is the Star card, which actually follows after in the sequence after the Tower. So here's the deal. This is what we want. We want this ruthless inventory, as I say before, to shake things up. So what's going to happen with you, Cancer, is that there might be things that come out of the blue. There might be things that are seen as very negative that come through as part of this phase of letting go. To me, it feels like a repeat pattern of things from the past, and either people or circumstances, or it could be circumstances animated by different people, but that are kind of the same people who have broken your trust, who have done you dirty. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying that this is a fucking blessing, because you're getting the opportunity once and for all to nip these patterns in the bud. So as these things, if they start to come up, like maybe your car breaks down, or maybe, Brandon's a Cancer, out of nowhere, he just got vertigo. Out of nowhere. That's a huge disruption, right? So we're trying to figure out how you can actually react, or not even react, respond to these circumstances and these patterns finally, once and for all, so they don't circle back. And it's going to be such a healing and such a clearing. And when we hear this, we see the Star card is on the other side of this, where it's like, okay, now I know exactly where I'm going, exactly where I'm headed, because all of these patterns have subsided, and I feel like I have my autonomy and my freedom to move forward untethered by these cyclical impediments that I've dealt with previously. So I would say it's a short time. It's like, allow yourself maybe to get beat up a little bit for 30 days and see every single challenge as an opportunity, and intentionally and actively respond to it differently than you would before. So if you would throw a tantrum before, hold it together. If you would hold it together before, throw a tantrum. Like, whatever it is, like, I feel like you've got to do the opposite of what you would have normally done, or see it through a lens of an opportunity. And it's like, okay, this is coming up. Thank you, universe, for showing me where I need more growth and healing. Thank you for giving me the immediate opportunity to do so. I'm going to take full advantage right now. Okay, guys, that is our readings for August. It feels like it could be April. Who knows what time it is, right? And then I just want to make a couple of announcements if you guys are interested. I am doing my remote group healings every new and full moon. The next one is August 4th. They have been so incredible. If you join them, you get access to, these are backwards. If you join them, you get access to a Facebook group. I do pop in there sometimes and do readings. And if you ever want a reading with me, the only opportunity that you have is to join the community. And then those are the folks that I allow first access to my calendar when I open it. Also, modernmysticshop.com has a facelift. It got a glow up, so check us out there. And our book, Spells for the Modern Mystic, is available for pre-sale and will be in your hands by September 29th. It's a spell book, and it's a kit, so it has candles and oils and incense and everything that you need to actually do the spells. Final card, maybe? If it's a bad one, I'm just kidding. Hermit, great. So we're going to take this time of Hermit energy, where we're all a little bit more separate and we're a little more internal, and we're going to use it to integrate. So continue to take that message with you. Integration. Two things, man. This ruthless inventory and integration of what you learn. Integration and acceptance. And you guys have all the answers. So anything that you hear here that resonates with you, it's perfect. It's the validation that you need to just ping you to know that you already know. All right, guys, I love doing these. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.